Great day. Stop apologizing for growing. For do I now persuade men or God? Or do I seek to please men? For if I yet please men, I should not be the servant of Christ. Galatians 1, verse 10. Welcome back to Broken to Bless, where pressure produces purpose. Today's conversation is for the person who has been shrinking themselves to make others comfortable. The person who feels guilty for setting boundaries. The person who feels the need to explain every decision, every change, and every step forward. Today, I want to tell you something. Stop apologizing for growing. Growth is not something you should be ashamed of. Walk in your purpose. Healing is not something you should hide. Walk in your purpose. And becoming who God created you to be does not require everyone's permission. Not everyone will celebrate your growth. One of the hardest lessons in life is realizing that everyone who supported your survival may not support your transformation. People often become comfortable with the version of you they can predict, the version that always says yes, the version of you that never speaks up, the version of you that carries everyone's burden, the version of you that stays small. But when God begins to heal you, things change. You start setting boundaries, you start protecting your peace, and you start valuing your time. You start saying no when necessary. And suddenly, some people become uncomfortable around you. Not because you've done something wrong, but because you've stopped doing what benefited them at your expense. Growth requires letting go. Every new season requires leaving something behind. Sometimes it's your mindset. Sometimes it can be fear. You're afraid. Sometimes it's unhealthy relationships. Sometimes it's the need for approval. You cannot walk into the future while carrying everything from the past. Growth often feels like loss before it feels like freedom. But God cannot fill hands that refuse to release what no longer belongs. You are allowed to change. Many people feel obligated to stay in the same because that's what others expect. But God never called us to remain stagnant. He called us to transform. The woman you were 5 years ago shouldn't be the same woman you are today. The experiences you've survived should teach you. The lessons you've learned should mature you. The healing you've received should change you. You're allowed to think differently. You're allowed to dream differently. You're allowed to live differently. You are allowed to grow. Boundaries are not rejections. Let's talk about boundaries. Boundaries is not a punishment. Boundary is protection. Some people interpret your boundary as rejection because they were benefiting from your lack of one. But healthy people understand that boundaries create healthier relationships. Jesus had boundaries. He ministered to the crowds, but he also withdrew to pray. He loved people, but he didn't allow everyone unlimited access. If Jesus needed boundaries, so do we. Stop explaining every decision. One sign of healing is realizing you don't owe everyone an explanation. Not everyone will understand my journey. Not everyone will agree with my choices. Not everyone will see what God is doing in my life. Hey, and that's okay. My assignment is not to convince everyone. Your assignment is to obey God. Sometimes growth requires quiet confidence. You don't need a committee to approve what God has already confirmed. Where am I shrinking myself to make others comfortable? What growth have I been apologizing for? What boundaries do I need to establish or maintain? Am I seeking God's approval or people's approval? You did not survive everything God brought you through just to remain the same. The healing was for a reason. The lesson were for a reason. The growth is for a reason. Don't apologize for becoming stronger. Don't apologize for becoming wiser. Don't apologize for becoming healthier. Don't apologize for becoming the person God is shaping you to be. The people who truly love you will learn to love the healed version of you. Father, thank you for every lesson, every trial, and every victory that helped shape us. Give us the courage to grow without guilt and the wisdom to establish healthy boundaries. Help us seek your approval above all else and trust your direction even when others don't understand. Teach us to walk confidently in the purpose you have for our lives. In Jesus' name, I will not apologize for growing. I will not shrink to fit my old expectations. I embrace the healing, wisdom, and purpose God has placed in my life. I am becoming who He created me to be. This is Broken to Bless, where pressure produces purpose. And in this purpose, this journey, I am walking in my purpose. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your love, likes, and share. Please continue to love, like, and share. And feel free to comment. Thank you, and God bless you.